Dear students, in the series of quantum chemistry, we will see the third lecture, that is on quantum effect. In the previous lectures, we have seen about the black body radiation experiment and also on the photoelectric effect. The four experiments that were resulted in the failure of classical mechanics, which classical mechanics could not explain, were the black body radiation experiment, photoelectric effect, quantum effect, and the atomic spectrum. We have seen in our previous lectures about the black body radiation experiments, photoelectric effects. In this lecture, we will see about the Compton effect. Uh, in this lecture, we will see about the Compton effect. According to Compton effect, when a beam of monochromatic X-rays, that is monochromatic means those which are having identical frequency, that is in a beam, when all the radiations are of one single frequency, then that beam we call it as a monochromatic. When a beam of monochromatic radiations of X-rays is scattered by a light element such as carbon, the scattered radiation in a particular direction consists of two things. One is the unmodified incident radiation, which is having same frequency as that of the incident radiation, and second is the modified radiation, which is having slightly lower frequency. That is, when a beam of light which is incident on an atom of a smaller atomic number, then if that beam, if it strikes on the electron gets ejected, and the radiation, the electron will be getting ejected in this direction, while the radiation is deflected in a certain different direction. When we observe the radiation, or we detect the radiation that is getting deflected or scattered, there are two things that are present in this radiation. One is the frequency, one beam or one part of that scattered radiation will have the same frequency as that of the incident radiation. That is, it will be an unmodified radiation. जो दूसरा पार्ट होता है, ये दूसरे पार्ट में यहाँ पे जो रेडिएशन होता है उसमें फ्रीक्वेंसी लोअर होती है, lower frequency, or it will have a lower energy photons. The photons that are coming over here will be lower in energy than the incident radiation. Hence, it will have lower frequency or it will have a higher wavelength. Higher wavelength or lower frequency results in lower energy of the radiations. So, according to Compton effect, when a radiation is incident, radiation of X-rays incident on the light metals, it ejects the electrons in one direction and gets deflected. The radiation gets deflected in another direction, and in doing so, the radiation, majority of them will have unmodified incident radiations. That is, they will have same frequencies, but some of them will be of different frequencies. That is, they will be having slightly lower frequencies. The scattering of radiations with modified wavelength is called as incoherent scattering, and this type of incoherent X-ray scattering is called as the Compton effect. The overall effect, we call it as a Compton effect, as it was discovered by Compton. The Compton in 1922 observed that the scattered radiation contained radiations of two wavelengths. One which was identical with the incident radiation, that is, the wavelength was same as that of the incident radiation lambda, and the other with longer wavelength or shorter frequency depending on the scattering angle. Let that the other wavelength or modified wavelength be lambda dash, and the unmodified wavelength be lambda. The difference in the wavelength, that is delta lambda, equals lambda minus lambda dash. Lambda means the wavelength of the incident radiation, lambda dash the wavelength of the modified beam, is a function, is found to be function of a scattering angle phi. That is, when a radiation is incident over a atom, over an if it strikes to an electron, if this is our nucleus, and if the electrons are revolving around in this particular orbits, and if the incident radiation strikes to electron gets ejected in one direction and the radiation gets deflected in the other direction. The radiation should have been going in this particular direction if there was no electron. And this angle, we call it as phi. This is called as a scattering angle, where we are observing this radiation at this particular angle from the incident angle. So ये जो एंगल होता है ये हमारा फाई एंगल है और स्कैटरिंग एंगल है, और जो डेल्टा लैम्बडा होता है ये जो वेवलेंथ बाहर निकला है इसका वेवलेंथ है लैम्बडा। जो बीम ऑफ रेडिएशन बाहर निकला है इसमें दो टाइप के हमारे वेवलेंथ्स हैं, एक है लैम्बडा और दूसरा लैम्बडा डैश, और जो हमने इंसिडेंट किया इसमें वेवलेंथ था लैम्बडा। सो इन दोनों का जो डिफरेंस है दैट इज डेल्टा लैम्बडा इक्वल्स टू लैम्बडा माइनस लैम्बडा डैश। ये जो डिफरेंस है ये डिफरेंस डिपेंड करता है ये फाई एंगल पर। जैसे जैसे फाई एंगल बढ़ता है वैसे ये डिफरेंस भी बढ़ता है, मींस कि ये जो लैम्बडा डैश है उसका वेवलेंथ बढ़ते जाता है जैसे फाई एंगल बढ़ेगा। So it depends on the scattering angle. This scattering angle, if it increases, then we will have a higher lambda dash or longer lambda dash will be resulted. That is, experimentally we can depict it like this: that whenever light is incident from this X-ray tube of molybdenum, if the X-rays are incident on this carbon target, then the beam that is going, if it is going in this direction, it will be 0 degree angle will be there, scattering angle. तो यहाँ पे ही जाना चाहिए था, उसी पे अगर हम ऑब्जर्व करते हैं तो हमें यहाँ पे मिलता है कि जो हमारा स्कैटर्ड रेडिएशन है इसका वेवलेंथ मैक्सिमम और जो इंसिडेंट रेडिएशन है उसका वेवलेंथ मैक्सिमम एग्जैक्टली मैच करता है। दैट इज आवर लैम्बडा विल बी इक्वल टू लैम्बडा डैश, सो दैट डेल्टा लैम्बडा विल बी इक्वल टू 0 at 0 degrees, 0 degree स्कैटरिंग एंगल। लेकिन अगर हम ये स्कैटरिंग एंगल को हम चेंज करते हैं बाय 45 डिग्रीज, सो 45 डिग्री में अगर हम स्कैटरिंग एंगल को चेंज करते हैं तो यहाँ पर हमें क्या ऑब्जर्व करते हैं, देयर आर टू पीक्स आर देयर, टू मैक्सिमास वी कैन गेट इट, वन मैक्सिमा corresponding to lambda, that is wavelength of the incident radiation, और जो दूसरा है वो है wavelength of the modified radiations. This difference we call it as delta lambda, and this delta lambda depends on this angle of scattering, that is this 40 that is phi angle. So ये 45 डिग्री में ये इतना डेल्टा लैम्बडा होता है। जो अगर हम इसको और बढ़ाते हैं 90 डिग्री में करते हैं तो we can observe that the delta lambda has increased. This is our delta lambda, where this is lambda and this is lambda dash. So lambda dash has increased by a larger margin than the incident wavelength. If we increase further this angle of scattering by 135 degrees, then we can see that it has further increased, and now we get two distinct maxima are obtained. Two distinct maxima are obtained, one corresponding to lambda and the other corresponding to lambda dash. So as the scattering angle increases, we get a higher difference in the wavelength is observed. This is at 0 degrees that coincides, lambda and lambda dash both coincides with each other, and so delta lambda will be 0. As the angle increases, we will have a larger differences appear in the lambda and lambda dash. So this is the Compton effect, where we get the two distinct radiations. We get it when an X-ray beam is striking light elements like carbon. Classical theory can explain only the presence of original radiation with wavelength lambda in the scattered spectrum. The theory could not explain the presence of line of longer wavelength. It could explain the line with wavelength as equal to the incident radiation, लेकिन lambda dash का explanation classical theory के पास नहीं था कि वो कहाँ से आया, कैसे आया. So that it could not explain it. So what Compton tried to explain that this particular phenomenon was on the basis of Einstein's hypothesis. Accordingly, collision between photon and electron is treated as a elastic collision. This is very important. The photon and electron are treated, the collision is treated as an elastic collision. हमने elastic collisions theory of kinetics में पढ़ा है. काइनेटिक थियरी ऑफ हमारे जो मॉलिक्यूल्स का जो केमिकल काइनेटिक्स में हम करते हैं, रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन फाइंड आउट करते हैं, तो देयर वी कम अक्रॉस द कोलिजन थियरी. So what does that collision theory says that there are two molecules A and B, they collide together, and in the collision they increase, or one of the molecule increases its energy, the other molecule decreases its energy. जब भी दो molecules collide करते हैं तो इलास्टिक कोलिजन होता है और उस इलास्टिक कोलिजन में एनर्जी का एक्सचेंज होता है। एक मॉलिक्यूल का एनर्जी, एक पार्टिकल का एनर्जी बढ़ता है, दूसरे पार्टिकल का एनर्जी कम होता है। ये हमारा कोलिजन थियरी में होता है। वैसे ही कॉम्पटन ने एक्सप्लेन किया कि जो फोटोन और इलेक्ट्रॉन जो हमारा कोलिजन हो रहा है, फोटोन जब एक्सरे का जो बीम, जो फोटॉन्स का बीम आ रहा है, वो जब इलेक्ट्रॉन को स्ट्राइक करता है तो दैट स्ट्राइकिंग इज कंसिडर्ड एज ए कोलिजन और इट इज कंसिडर्ड एज एन इलास्टिक कोलिजन। इलास्टिक कोलिजन की वजह से क्या होगा कि फोटोन इज ट्रीटेड एज ए पार्टिकल। Electron is definitely a particle because we know the mass of the electron being equal to 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kilograms. So electron का mass है, so it is a particle, but we do not have a mass of photon. But this was the first time that photon was treated as a particle. According to Einstein's hypothesis, photon is also treated as a particle. So when photon is treated as a particle, what Compton suggested that if this is a particle and electron is also a particle, then the collision between them can be treated as an elastic collision. So when such thing happens, when a photon is colliding with an electron, then that electron and photon collision can be, being an elastic collision, what will happen? There will be an exchange of energy will happen. Exchange of energy में photon का energy थोड़ा सा इलेक्ट्रॉन को जाएगा. इट विल नॉट बी अ कंप्लीट ट्रांसफर ऑफ एनर्जी. कंप्लीट ट्रांसफर कब होता है? जब फोटोन को हम वेव की तरह बिहेव करवाते हैं. जब फोटोन इज ट्रीटेड एज ए वेव तो फिर वो कंप्लीट एब्जॉर्ब होता है. जब फोटोन एज ए पार्टिकल जब हम ट्रीट करते हैं तो पार्टिकल में कोलिजन होता है. तो जैसे यहाँ पे ए और बी का कोलिजन हुआ तो बी ने तो अपना थोड़ा सा एनर्जी ए को दिया जिससे कि ए का एनर्जी बढ़ गया और बी का एनर्जी कम हो गया. सो ए का एनर्जी बढ़ेगा और बी का एनर्जी कम होगा. वैसे ही यहाँ पे फोटोन और इलेक्ट्रॉन का जब कोलिजन होगा तो फोटोन थोड़ा सा अपना एनर्जी इलेक्ट्रॉन को देगा जिससे कि फोटोन का एनर्जी कम हो जाएगा और इलेक्ट्रॉन का एनर्जी बढ़ जाएगा. इलेक्ट्रॉन का एनर्जी बढ़ेगा तो वो एटम के से इजेक्ट होकर के बाहर चला जाएगा. That is, photon with an energy h nu approaches an electron at rest in the solid. Electrons are not at rest, they are running in the orbital, but it is considered as they are at a rest in the solid. The photon collides with the electron and gets deflected by an angle phi. It gives some of its energy to the electron and hence its energy gets reduced to h nu dash, or we can say hc upon lambda dash. The Compton effect confirms the particle nature of waves and light given by Einstein in 1905. Einstein was the first who gave particle nature to the waves or particle nature to light. Compton just confirms that particular particle nature given by Einstein in his experiment in the Compton effect, whereby the waves or the photons will transfer a part of its energy to electron and thereby its energy gets reduced and the electron's energy gets enhanced. And because of that, electron get ejected. That is what the Compton effect is. Thank you.